Sup, everyone? We're back with more Great Ace Attorney. And now I think it's finally time to leave this room, yes? First time we're looking at this, actually. Here's the move screen. Very nice. Cabin on the SS Buria. Buria? Buria? I don't know. Alright. First and foremost, the cabin, we must... Oh. Oh, it's a description of what Susato has to say. What is that on the floor? Already I am intrigued. The hell's that on the floor? Is that like a mouse trap? What the hell am I looking at? Whew, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be, and this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama is being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodations in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there! There is a guy staring directly at us. That's another crewman keeping watch, and he looks enormous, even if he is sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose. Like people in handcuffs. Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. I mean, he hasn't gone out of the room once in those 2 weeks. Suffice to say, he probably has a bit of cabin fever. Well, yes, I know. But the thing is, I was inside Cosmo's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Well, there is a incredible lack of music here. Well, first off, let's look at this thing that caught my attention. Ah, a trap for catching mice. Oh, I was actually right. Shit, I didn't think it was actually that. Why is that supposed to be cheese on it? It's like a ball. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Oh, okay, so it isn't cheese. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what is called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. Ah, okay, so it is cheese. It's just in a ball shape for some reason. And also, I guess they don't have cheese in Japan back then. Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. Oh boy. You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But... I suppose you're right. Man's hungry. You weren't actually gonna try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. You haven't been to Narnia. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin, it's Kazuma-sama's. Sorry? Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. Wow. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way. How big is this ship? 500 and... How many cabins are there? Good question. What is this, like a bell? What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh? This I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch that. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. She acts a lot like Susato acts a lot like Ryunosuke's mom, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure Ryunosuke's older. People. Oh, I can't look at my own character's age, apparently. Well, she's 16. Kazuma was 23. Sorry. Have to use past tense now that our buddy is gone. And since we're in the same university, I assume we're, like, at same age or, like, only a year different. So, yeah. Ryunosuke is definitely older than Susato. And then there's Sholmes. There's not a person in the world who's heard of this famous great detective. Not a person except me, apparently. He was on his way to London for a study tour when he was taken from this world. Yikes. She's the epitome of a refined Japanese lady. Chief Inspector in the Imperial Police Bureau, who's on an undercover mission, posing as a member of the ship's crew. I like that they actually gave him a different portrait. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop, the ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Number 2. This is the one we're going to, isn't it? This is it. This is the cabin next to ours, the one the ventilator connects to. I probably shouldn't have checked this so soon. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Oh my god, you could chisel meat on that! Ah! Oh, excuse me, we, need to get inside this cabin here. Ah. The tall, strong, silent type. The sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out. That's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Yeah, but you written in Japanese, so it's not like anyone here besides Susato and Kazuma could have even read it. Although this man's version is definitely more effective. Doesn't look like he's gonna let us pass. That's a problem. Oh, let's look over here. What's this? Oh, it's a map of the ship. This looks like a plan of the SS. God, I really wish I knew how to pronounce that. It shows each deck. Look. The Buria is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but... How is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan. Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. Very smart thinking. One of the lights is out up here. Or more like only one of them's on, I guess. What's this? It's a huge book on top of the table there, and there's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? surprised the guy's letting us. The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. I wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. And nothing. No reaction at all. Thought I might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san. Even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. I really do like her poses. They're very cute. You know what, let's just try talking to the man himself, I guess. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You little third-class lady's maid. Oh. You seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I am not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman. Beef Strogan. Oh man, what a name. Beef Stroganoff. Beef Stroganov. What a legendary name. Phew, the best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Alright. Mr. Stroganov. About this first-class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Buria steamship. For very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens, traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean, but Stroganov is not animal. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? Duh. Susato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes or no. Genius. The dialogue. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is someone in the next door cabin at least. Yes. It's tantalizing. Could she tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly students from insignificant Far East Islands. That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like anyone's there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, He must be rather important, is that right?
That is not your business.
Okay, before I forget, actually. Wait, no. I want to talk to you still. Ah, shoot. Damn it. I wanted to present something to him. Oh well. Fine. Last night. Are you on watch here all the times, Seaman Stroganoff?
Da, all time, so criminals like you cannot come in. Or get out.
I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all?
It is sad about student boy.
Were you on watch last night as well?
Of course.
And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual?
Niet.
Susato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly a no.
I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all.
And you didn't hear any strange noises? Or sense anything was wrong in some way? And now he's side-eyeing us.
I said no.
Sorry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there.
This is enough. I cannot say more now.
Oh,
It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin.
yes, alright.
Bulkhead to second class areas staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain. Or as English say, when the pigs fly.
Yes, I understand. I stroganoff. Wow, my voice like did a... What did my voice just do there? I was like trying to hold in a yawn and I did like a vibrato or something. I don't know. It was like my voice was auto-tuned for a second there. Sorry. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. Oh wait. Okay, yeah. Now we can actually go in. Yep. No answer. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help our inquiries.
How annoying.
Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Oh great, now I have to make a separate woman voice. Stand aside. I'm about to break down the door down. Mr. Sholmes? I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off the hinges. My type of man. He's a man after my own heart. He loves to kick in doors. Every time I play Apex, I constantly do that. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't. Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular rage? What, pray, can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. I love how he gets pissed off because he's just like, I want to kick a door in. I have to remember what my voice is for Sholmes. This recording's taking place a day after the last one, by the way. So I have to get back into the groove of things. Mr. Nawihodo. I don't know. First class cabin number 2. Who are you?
Who are you?
A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. Then who is the woman that was screaming? Not you. We heard a woman scream.
A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin.
True, the old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Was it you?
Get out, all of you, now!
Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe.
Yes, that's me, and you are.
I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt.
No.
Wow. Ryunosuke found someone that has someone in common with him. I am a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. Man uses that magazine like a business card.
A detective? I do not trust detectives.
We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case?
What? Don't be stupid! How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that?
Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. Oh my god, did he just call it? Oh my! Did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook.
Leave now, otherwise I'll call the steward.
So this is Cosimo's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. The strange Russian man is hiding something. Oh, Russian, right. I almost forgot. I should probably put on the accent again, but I don't know how many different voices I can do in a Russian accent. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Okay, but first, would you mind taking a look at this? Mr. Roylott, what do you make of this?
Listen. Do you know why I am wearing these dark glasses?
No, not really.
So I do not have to look at things I do not want to look at. Do you understand me?
If they said old man, maybe I should try combining my old man voice and my Russian voice. I don't know. I wish I could point out that you can still see things even when wearing glasses. But his chilly air has frozen my lips shut. Okay. Let's just look at random stuff. I'm just gonna ignore that.
What do you think you're doing?
Ah!
This is my cabin. Get out.
Could we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps?
No.
Ah, what a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Do I really have to acknowledge his existence when he's doing that? Perhaps that Greek detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Okay, but what if I just talk regularly? Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something.
No.
Oh. I do...
I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now.
I'm not putting enough of the old man voice into this. It sounded exactly like a beef stroganoff. This is going terribly. Maybe... We're not getting anywhere here. Okay, yeah. Fine, I'll acknowledge his existence. Him being in a corner doing whatever the hell he's doing. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes?
You need only address me as Sholmes.
That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, you said Mr. Oh. Or did you? Yeah, you said Mr. Sholmes. Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there?
Why, I was resting, of course.
Resting?
Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service.
Oh,
And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come, and so have I. I'll laugh last 'cause you came to die. Am I mistaken?
well, no, actually, you're spot on, for once.
Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Deductions. Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians.
Right.
Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it?
Oh, yes, please.
Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case.
Oh, right? What do you got? Huh?
Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you?
What? What?
From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness?
I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you. Or anyone. That's right. And Mr. Sholmes? I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment.
Shh! I must have complete silence.
What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that?
Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions.
What do you mean?
Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not?
Huh?
And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment, no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered.
does it not?
Ooh.
Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. Didn't you witness one of his quote-unquote great deductions when he was grilling us? That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What ineffable twaddle. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astounding impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color is drained from Mr. Roylot's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right.
How could you?
How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at the pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logistical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Huh? The game is afoot. Topic 1, old man's identity. What is going on here? So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye, oh gosh. It's the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. Who pose? The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front-page article, which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Okay. Topic 2. Wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare.
No, I refuse.
What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps. One slight enough to fit therein.
Don't be absurd.
And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited for a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Conclusion. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma, Elemensky. Ah yes, Elemensky. Sasado-san? That wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a minute?
Pray, what can I do for you?
Oh, yes. Now I am yawning. It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's a newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... these two men look nothing like each other. I was gonna say that, but... ah, yes. I recall a discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. You are insane. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylat does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina? Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you push really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain liveliness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Hello, feline, how are you? Yes, we have a visitor, everybody. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. As a certain prosecutor would say, you're not a clown, you're the entire circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seem a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Susato. It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactically switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Huh. Switch some key words in his deductions. Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. Well, at least he's self-aware.
It's not that funny.
Ah, and you, my good fellow.
Sorry?
Take a moment to look at your wrists.
My wrists?
Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. When the hell did you do this? How did you... When the hell did you have the time to take them off? And how did you do it? I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you're a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Next time on Great Ace Attorney. Sorry, this seems like it's gonna be a big thing, so I think it's better to save it for the start of next episode. And we got a taste of it a bit ago, so yeah. Next time on Great Ace Attorney, we'll have some great deductions with Mr. Hillock Shows. Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja matane.